How are you, darling? Hey, Kimberly. Hello. Hey, Julie. Hello, Penny. Hey, Boss Man. Hey, Palm. Hello, HJ. Hey, Penny. Hey, Spitfire. Let's share the live. Let's get it out to 5 friends, 10 friends, 15 friends. Let's get it out there. Hey, Dancing Puppy. How are you? Hello, Shirley. Itchy, very, very, very itchy. Using a filter again. This one's fine. It's this one. And it's just been itching like crazy, and it's almost like I want to scratch it so bad. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Thank you, X. What do y'all think about this filter? I am liking the red lipstick. I have to admit it. I would wear red lipstick a lot more if it didn't come up on my teeth during the story, because then I look like an idiot. So, hey, Joanne. I call this the minimal look. I'll share the gown in 5 minutes. You like my love? Well, good, KCJL Asher. Thank you, Eddie. Hey, Melanie. Got your shirt on? Am I a vampire? Maybe. Hey, over there in YouTube. Thank you for the likes. Welcome to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. I am also a horror author and I tell every kind of scary story imaginable. Do you like scary stories? Hello, Crystal. Hey, Harvest Happenings. Good. Hey, Firefly. I love your response, X. It was good. Thank you so much, Crystal. I really, really enjoyed having that time with Chris. He is incredible, and thank you so much for the follow. What are your favorite stories? You like true crime? Oh, Crystal, you came to the right place. Hey, Casper, how are you? You know what, that bitch Rachel, I'll go in and check it on YouTube and see if I can remember where I put it. You like vampires, Asher? Hello, Tabitha from Chris Netzel. Welcome. Tabitha, do you like scary stories? I will do that for you. Hello, Curry. How are you, darling? Hey, Rose Wild. Well, then you came to the right place, Tabitha. It gets scary here. Hey, Vampire Girl. Welcome to the night room. Green. Sequin, green, strands of gold, beading, sequins, all down. It's also corseted, which I absolutely love. On the side, it has a train on the bottom. You can't see it, but this gown is just absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Feel amazing in it. Green. family, do you know someone that likes scary stories? What is a queen without her jewelry? Four minutes. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Tonya Jean. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you, legends. Hello, Bendera. Hey, Ebony Eyes. Welcome in. Thank you. Thank you, Shirley. We're about to wind it on down now. Thank you. Welcome, night dwellers. Welcome to the night realm. I am the Night Queen, and tonight is True Crime Night. Normally it would be on Monday, but after the incident with the eye, I had to postpone, but I am back. And tonight I have a story so chilling, so terrifying, that I have not been able to get it out of my mind all day. I warn you, this one is hard. If you have a box of tissues on hand, I would grab them now. For those of you who are just coming in, I am Bryn Morgan. I am a horror author, and I am also a teller of everything scary. True crime, serial unalivers, urban legends, Appalachian horror, cryptids, paranormal, aliens. Actually, have I told an alien story yet? I don't know. Julie will remind me. Lore, horror, movies brought to story life. That's right. I tell it all here. Stephen King. The list could go on and on and on. We have a way of how we go into story time. My night dwellers know it well. And if you have joined tonight as a night dweller, then you can follow along with me if you would like. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. I used to think locking doors was safe. Not after this story. Light a candle to chase the shadows away. Pull your curtains nice and tight. And whatever you do, don't look outside. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Let me know in the comments. I'm ready. Welcome back to the night room, night dwellers. I am your night queen. And tonight I bring you a story that will chill you to your very soul. Tonight, you will be told the story of Denise Amber Lee. From Denise Amber Lee herself, speaking from beyond the veil about her final day on earth, January the 17th, 2008. This young mother of 21 faced unimaginable evil with courage that defied death itself. Her story became a beacon of change. Her voice echoing through 911 calls that exposed a system's deadly failures. Through me, she will speak to you from the shadows of eternity. You will experience every terrifying moment through her eyes. Feel her desperation, her fear. Witness her fierce maternal love and understand why her legacy continues to protect families today. Hello, Gracie. So prepare yourselves, my faithful children, for you are about to walk alongside an angel in her darkest hour. Listen carefully, for these are the words of Denise Amber Lee herself. Take heed. Listen to the warning as she speaks from the night realm. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to show you this beautiful woman set the scene. Denise and her two little boys, Noah and Adam. This is her husband, Nate. This is truly a story of such evil. I will show you more as we go throughout the night, but that is just the start to put a face to a name. Chapter 1. The girl I used to be. I will start out the story with a question. How do you hold on to hope when you know that evil exists in this world? My name is Denise Amber Lee. And before I tell you how I died, I want you to know how I lived. I was born Denise Amber Goff on August the 6th, 1986, in Inglewood, Florida. My father, Rick Goff, was a sergeant with the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office for 25 years. My mother, Sue, filled our home with light, laughter, and love. I grew up knowing that my dad caught bad guys for a living, which made me feel safe in a world that I honestly believed was mostly good. I was sheltered, protected. Nothing bad could ever happen to me. I was quiet, a shy child. Some would say even that I was introverted, but I was also intelligent and I was hardworking. One thing my dad was a stickler for was do your homework as soon as you get home. I loved school. I believed in fairy tales. I thought that the scariest thing in the world for me was getting a B on my report card. My parents gave me everything that a girl could want. Love, security, and the belief that good always triumphs over evil. When I first saw Nate, I was 15. I was awkward, shy, barely spoke. But there was just something about him. From the moment I saw him, he was tall and strong and played football, and I just remember him having really broad shoulders and the cutest smile. I told my friend that I thought I had a crush on him. She said, that's pretty obvious. I said, do you really think so? Am I acting like an idiot in front of him or something? She's like, no. She's like, but it's pretty easy to see that you do like him. She said my cheeks would turn a different shade of pink. He had a girlfriend. And she was nice. A couple more years passed, and I was 17. Not quite as shy as I was, but still in high school, and I met Nate at the community college where I was taking dual enrollment classes. He was 19 then, athletic, popular, and everything that I thought I could never have. He walked up to me one day. It was raining outside, and he had an umbrella. I had forgot mine. And he said, can I walk you to your car? At first I looked to see if someone was standing behind me because he and I hadn't spoken a word. And then I realized he was looking at me. And I have to admit, I felt like I was floating. But you know what? 2 weeks later, it was Friday night, and there was going to be a football game. And he just casually walked up to me that morning, and he said, are you going to be at the game tonight? I was always at the game. Yeah, I'm going to be there. What bench do you normally sit on? In the middle? He told me he wanted to talk to me after the game. So I was all excited. Football game was great. They ended up winning. He came up to me smelling all sweaty and football-y, as I used to say. And he asked me if I would go out on a date with him the next night, Saturday night. Despite my shy nature with Nate, something about him made me brave. Something about him made me happy. And don't get me wrong, because I smiled, I laughed, but I could feel those little butterflies in the pit of my stomach. Fast forward a couple more years. Nate bought me a heart-shaped ring for $40 after our first few dates. He said he wanted it to be a promise ring and that he would let me pick it. Unbeknownst to me, a year after we were married, the ring that I chose was not what he had planned on. He had saved up $250. But when he took me into the jewelry shop and we were looking at the rings, I picked one that was a simple Celtic ring with a heart. It was $40. But I thought it was the most beautiful ring that I had ever seen. It was everything to me. I never took it off. I promised Nate that I would never take it off. Not ever. For no circumstances. That's how much it meant to me. That ring represented our promise to build a life together. To be those high school sweethearts who actually made it. Some said that we got married too young. But we didn't care. It's what we wanted. We loved each other. We wanted to be together. So we got married. We started our family right away. Noah came first in 2006. Oh, he changed my life. Carried him around for 9 months. Feeling him kicking me. The imprint of his foot against my belly. It was beautiful. I felt like there was an alien growing inside of me. Oh, life was good. I remember walking down the aisle to Nate, taking his hand and promising I would be with him forever. And now here we were with our first son. He was 2 years old, with the most beautiful eyes and a very adventurous spirit. He did not get that from me. And then came Adam in July of 2007. My baby, only 6 months old, with the sweetest temperament and the most perfect little face that you've ever seen. I remember when he was born, the nurse placed him in my arms. And I remember holding my finger to his little rosebud lips. And he latched onto my finger and started just sucking. And I swear I was lost. We had a beautiful little family. Nathan had to work 3 jobs to support us so I could stay home with our boys, but we were willing to make that sacrifice. We lived in a rented house on Latour Avenue in Northport. It wasn't fancy, but it was ours. It was cute. It had 2 bedrooms, and I planted little yellow flowers in the flower beds by the front door. It was a small community. It was a rental community, but everyone was friendly and we just really loved it. Every morning I would wake to the sound of my children and think, Denise, you are the luckiest woman alive. I had no idea that someone was watching me, studying my routine, driving through my neighborhood, learning my schedule, looking for the perfect victim, someone vulnerable, someone with small children, someone like me. But I want you to remember this, night dwellers. Before I became a victim of this sadistic monster, I was a daughter, I was a wife, a mother, and I was loved, and I loved fiercely in return. That love would be my strength in the darkness that was coming. And it was coming very soon. Chapter 2, the last normal morning. Question for you, my children. If you knew that this was your final morning, what would you do differently? Thursday, January the 17th, 2008 began like every other morning in our little house. I was exhausted, managing 2 boys on my own, and chores and cooking and everything just completely took it out of me. Nate brushed a kiss across my forehead before he left that morning, before dawn, and left for work. He worked at the power company, and he was taking on extra hours. We had some expenses with the baby, and we were just trying to survive. The boys were still sleeping. Noah was in its toddler bed in the next room. Adam was in his crib. And I lay there listening to Nate crank his truck, the rumble of the engine. I could see the headlight shining through our bedroom window as he backed out of our small driveway. And I lay there for a moment, just listening. It was so quiet. Just a soft snore from Noah. The comforter felt amazing against my tired body. I snuggled deeper into it. By 9 a.m., both boys were up and ready for breakfast. Full steam ahead. I made Noah his favorite, pancakes cut into fun shapes with blueberries. And Adam sat in his high chair, babbling and reaching for everything. So I poured more Cheerios on his tray. And even though I would act like I was a little exasperated and my hair was going to be falling out of my head, these were the moments that I treasured the most. When our little kitchen was filled with the sounds of childhood and love, having to wipe grape jelly off of Noah's hands because he wanted to spread it all over his pancakes. It was unusually warm for January, unbelievably so. And Nate had told me the night before to try to save some money because we weren't prepared for this heat wave in January, that maybe we could just turn off the air and open up the windows till the hottest part of the day and let the fresh Florida air in our home. I had no way of knowing. No way of knowing that this simple act, something as simple as lifting windows halfway, would catch the attention of a predator cruising our neighborhood. At 11:20 a.m., Nate called me during lunch break. He asked me if I had let the windows open, and I said, yeah. We chatted about the beautiful weather, and he suggested when he got home, maybe we could take the kids to the park. Adam loved the swing, and Noah liked to climb this big castle. While I was talking to him on the phone, I pulled back the curtain. There was this green car that had been just circling the neighborhood for like 4 or 5 times. And I remember thinking, is this person lost? After lunch, I did what I loved most. I took Noah out to our back porch to cut his hair. He sat so still, my little man, while I carefully trimmed around his ears. His hair grew like a chia pet, and I used to do chia, and he would just laugh and giggle. And Adam would giggle as he laid on his blanket, having no idea what he was giggling about, but I remember the sunshine was warm on our faces. And I remember how perfect, thinking how perfect that this moment was. Just me and my firstborn and my infant son talking about everything and nothing. That's when I noticed it again. The green car, a green Camaro with what they called was a bra across the front, black. It drove past our house slowly, deliberately. My neighbor, Jennifer Eckert, later told police she saw the car circle our block 8 to 9 times. And it was in between 1 and 2 p.m. I listened to her accounting in court. She said that she even thought about approaching the car when it pulled up in our driveway. But the man had said that he was just turning around. I put both boys down for their afternoon naps around 2 p.m., 2:15. Noah fell asleep clutching his favorite stuffed animal. It was a gray elephant. I remember it. I washed it enough. And Adam curled up in his crib with his little fist near his face. I kissed their foreheads and whispered, "Mommy loves her boys so much." If I had known what was coming in the last hour, that would be the last time I would be with my boys. If I had known what was coming in the next hour, I would have held them longer. I would have memorized every detail of their sleeping faces. I would have told them 1,000 times how they were Mommy's whole world. How I would watch over them, no matter what. But at this time, you feel like you have forever, you know? I was 21. I thought we had years of afternoons like this one. I had a little smile to come across my face when I thought about going to the park with Nate and the boys hours later. I thought that the locks on my door and the love in my heart were enough to keep evil away from my family. I was wrong. So terribly wrong. I was wrong. Evil was already watching, already planning, already closing in on everything that I held dear. Chapter 3, when the monster came calling. Question: how do you recognize evil when it wears an ordinary face? It was 2:30 p.m. while my babies slept peacefully in their beds. Evil came knocking at my door. Literally. I was in our small living room. I had one of the daytime talk show going in the background. I was folding tiny clothes and enjoying the quiet moments that every mother treasures. You know it if you're a mom. The house was peaceful except for the gentle hum of the air conditioner. I had put the windows back down. I didn't want bugs flying in, and we didn't have any screens on the windows. And I could hear the distant sound of children playing in a neighbor's yard. Then I heard it. A knock at my front door. It wasn't the familiar sound of my neighbor, Miss Eckert, or the mailman's routine rap on the door to let me know mail was delivered. This was different. It was insistent, and it was wrong. My instincts immediately screamed danger. You know when something isn't right. And with my dad being a sheriff, he had always told me never open the door to a stranger, no matter what they say. Don't fall for it. He said the predators came in every shape and size and color. Nathan wasn't expected home for hours. We weren't expecting anyone. My parents hadn't said they were coming over. They would always call me. Always. The knocking continued. I approached the door slowly, my bare feet silent on the tile floor. I raised up on my tiptoes and looked through the peephole, and I could see a man, tall, thin, wearing a baseball cap pulled low over his face. Something about the way he stood, too close to the door, too intense, made every maternal instinct I possessed scream warnings. I don't know this man. Something's wrong. This doesn't feel right. But then the voice of reason. But what if he really needs my help? Couldn't be someone that was going to do something bad, because there were homes all around us and people were home. My neighbor, Miss Eckert, was right across the street. So, no. It's just a guy knocking on the door. I'm not going to respond. I never opened the door. Thank God I trusted my instincts in the moment. Because now that I think about it, it probably saved my children's lives. The knocking continued, though. Stronger. Why did I speak? Why did I say anything? Why? I called out through the door. Can I help you? I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. His voice came back. My car broke down. I need to use your phone. Came the response. Every fiber of my being told me, Denise, do not open the door. I'm not gonna open my door. I can call someone for you. What number do you need me to call? Hold on a minute. I'll grab my notepad and pen. The silence that followed felt like an eternity. I could sense him on the other side of the door. He had not left. And my instincts were screaming for me to back away. My heart was pounding. What happened next changed everything. The man outside began to pound on the door. And then he threw his full weight against it. He forced his way into my home. He broke it down as if it was nothing. And he was in my living room. There he was. The stranger in my sanctuary. Looking around my home like he owned it. And that infuriated me more than anything. He picked up the photo of my baby boy when he was born, looked at it, and tossed it on the carpet. His eyes were empty. Completely, utterly empty. Like staring into a void that stared right back at him. But you know what? In that moment of absolute terror, when he broke down my door, Something fierce awoke in me. This was my home. These were my children lying down for their naps just down the hall. And I would fight with everything I had in me to protect them. Chapter 4. A Mother's Impossible Choice. Question. What would you sacrifice to save your children? I didn't know his name. And there he was, standing in my living room. And I could see him taking in every detail. The family photos on our walls, Noah's toys scattered on the floor, the hallway that led to where my babies slept. He was studying our home, our life, like a predator choosing his next meal. I started thinking, the boys are still sleeping. If I can keep him focused on me, maybe they'll stay safe. Maybe someone will notice something wrong. Maybe Nate will come home early, but I knew that that was stupid thinking because Nate was a hard worker and he never left early, ever. What do you want? I demanded, trying to sound braver than I felt, but inside I was shaking. We don't have money. We don't have expensive things. Just, why are you here? He didn't answer me immediately. He just kept looking around, touching my things, picking up my little boy's clothes, violating our space with his presence. I hated him. I hated him for what he was doing, and I was getting angrier by the moment. When he started moving down the hallway to where my kids slept, I stepped into his path without even thinking. Don't go near them. I was like a mama bear with her cubs. He turned around and looked at me. He smiled this cold, calculated grin. I've been watching you for weeks. I know when your husband leaves. I know when you wake up. I know when you put your children down for your nap. I know when you come outside and play with them in the front yard. I've studied you. You're going to do exactly what I tell you to do. Or those babies are going to wake up to something they should never see. And when I'm done with you, I'll take care of them. I felt eternal anguish in my soul. His threat hit me like a physical blow. Images flashed through my mind, my precious boys frightened and hurt. I couldn't let that happen. I would die before I let him touch my children. That's when I understood what he really wanted. The way he kept looking toward the door, positioning himself between me and any escape route. He didn't just want to hurt me here. He wanted to take me away. Night dwellers. Something inside of me said, Denise, this is your last day. If I come with you willingly, I said, my voice steadier than I felt, will you leave my children alone? My husband will be home soon, in a few hours, and he'll take care of them. Will you leave them alone? He just looked at me. If I come with you, will you leave my children alone? I was making a deal with the devil, trading my life for the lives of my sons. Every instinct screamed against me for leaving my babies. But if my sacrifice could keep them safe, then I would be okay. He stood at the front door and watched. I grabbed my small purse and made silent promises to my sleeping children as I was making my way across the floor to him. I would find a way to survive this. I didn't care what that voice had said. This wasn't my last day. I would find a way to get back to them. I would do whatever I had to do to survive him. And if I couldn't, I would make sure that this monster paid for what he was doing to my family, for how he was ripping us apart. This was going to devastate Nate. We were soulmates. It was going to tear him apart. At least my boys were small enough that I felt like they wouldn't be so badly damaged. I looked back toward the hallway where Noah and Adam slept peacefully, unaware that their mommy was being taken from them. I love you. I love you so very much. I am Denise Amber Lee. I am a mother. I am a fighter. And I will not make this easy for him. Whatever happens next, I will fight for my life and for my right to return to my children, to return to my sons. Chapter 5, taken from paradise. Question: how do you find strength when all hope seems lost? The green Camaro sat in our driveway like a hearse, waiting to carry me away from everything I loved. He put his hands on my body and pushed me, forced me toward the car. And I swear to God, I almost vomited. I took one last look at our little home, our little white house with the cheerful flowers that I planted by the front door. The front door that was now smashed in, that would soon tell Nathan something terrible had happened. Noah was learning to crawl out of his crib in the middle of the night. What if he woke up and he walked out the door and I couldn't think about that. The only thing I did was I said a prayer. God, please protect my boys. As he shoved me in the back seat, he hit my head. I could feel moisture. I thought, my babies are inside. They're safe and they're sleeping. Noah will wake up from his nap and call for me. And when I don't answer, he's going to get worried and he's going to start to cry. And Adam always cries when he's hungry, and there will be no one there to comfort him until Nathan gets home. God, please protect my boys. I wanted to scream as loud as I could to run back inside, but I was no match for him physically. I was small, he was tall. I wanted to wake my children and just tell them once more how much that Mama loved them. But I knew that any sudden movement might bring his violence into their world, and I was going to keep their world safe for as long as I could. I could not risk my boys. He got in. I asked him to please let me, but he stopped me. He turned around and punched me in my stomach. I knew with that blow, this wasn't going to end well for me, unless a miracle happened. We drove away from Latour Avenue, from my boys. How could everything go so wrong? I tried to memorize every turn. Thank God he did not blindfold me. Every street sign, every landmark. If I survived this, when I survived this, I would need to help police find this route. I remember Daddy telling me years ago, if anyone should ever try to do something to you, memorize everything you can. Their face, where they take you, remember everything. With each block that we traveled, I felt the distance growing between me and my children. They were being my entire world, and I was being taken farther and farther away from them. He stopped and turned on a dirt road. I saw a trailer park. He pulled up in front of this trailer and he was erratic. There was this man that was standing out in the front yard with his daughter. I remember she looked like she was maybe 17. I had thought about jumping out, but before he got out, he told me, "You make one move, and I will take you back to your house, and I will unalive you and your sons." He walked up to this man. He told him that he needed a gas can, a shovel. I was terrified. But I was also thinking, I was noticing everything that I could. The route we took, the houses we passed, anything that might help me to catch him later. The 17-year-old girl was standing on the step. She was looking into the car. Help me! I cried out. About that time, my captor and another man walked back around. He was holding a shovel, a gas can, and 2 industrial trash bags. Help me, please! I yelled out. The older man looked at him. Hey, why have you got a girl in the back seat? Oh, don't worry about her. I'm gonna deal with her in a minute. I tried once again to get attention. Call the cops! Hoping that this man would realize that something was wrong. I learned later that it was Harold Monkslow. And we were at his house between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Again, my captor turned around and said, "Don't worry, it's nothing." Harold didn't call for help. He later told his 17-year-old daughter, Sabrina, what he had seen. And she would call 911 at 6:28 p.m. But by then, it would be too late for me. He continued driving, further and further, mile after mile. I was being quiet because I didn't want to be hit again. I turned and I felt something sharp dig into my side. I looked down and it was my purse. And then I had a moment of hope. My cell phone. I had left my cell phone in my purse the night before. Would it have any charge? If I could somehow get to it. I was amazed that he hadn't tied me up yet, but he hadn't. I wondered if I could call 911, if I could call for help without him realizing. The guy was sick. He was carrying on a whole conversation with himself as he was driving, hitting the side of his head, laughing. His engine was too loud. It was my last hope, my final chance to fight back and try to get home to my babies. I was a mother being taken from her children, and I would do whatever I had to survive. I had made a promise to Noah and Adam, even though they couldn't hear me. Mommy was going to try to do everything I could to come back home to them. We're going to take a intermission, and when I return, we will finish up the story of Denise Amber Lee. Oh, I'm so glad you love the background. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Ray Ray. Everybody come in. Just hang out for a few minutes, eat some chocolate chips. Oh, darn. This crown keeps wanting to pull off. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Hey, Bonnie Sue. Hello, Miss Jizzy, the drag queen. Hello and welcome. Miss Jizzy, do you like scary stories? Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. Hey, Magic Moon. Hey, Pocono Hideaway. I'm going this weekend over to my mailbox and pick up my packages. I am so excited. Oh, did you start reading it, Rebecca? What do you think? Well, Miss Jizzy, you are in the right place. Welcome. Hey, Tracy Truskinski, how are you? Get ready, Rebecca. You're about to meet the entity, I bet. Hello, Maureen. We're about halfway through the story. Yeah, Bonnie Sue, that's what I was thinking when about the part of, you know, because they tried to claim that he was, they tried to claim a bunch of things, but it doesn't matter. He was a monster, an absolute monster. Hey, Kingfisher. Hello, GFPRS. Thank you for the heart me. Hello to everyone who is just coming in. That's right, Julie. Hey, Carrie McAllister. Mia, thank you for sharing to the FYP. Hey, David Tyson. We'll start in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. So good to have you all in here. If you are new, please let me know. I want to say hello. Hey, Tara Mallard. How are you? Hey, Nikki Monroe. Thank you for sharing the live. Hey, Karen. Well, that is good news, Rebecca. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Hey, Pastelina Pink. Love you. What about my evil laugh, Asha? Oh, I'm sure you'll hear it tonight. Now, don't forget, tomorrow night is the Will of Fate. Let the will of fate decide the stories I tell tomorrow night. Don't miss it. Hello, sweet lady 72. You love the Will of Fate, Anna Sherry? Awesome. Welcome in to all the night dwellers. Welcome into the new night dwellers. It is very nice to have you. I am loving seeing the new faces come in. It is so exciting. Rebecca, the Will of Fate is where... Hold on. Tomorrow night, all categories are listed on the Wheel of Fate. I will spin, and it will choose the story that I tell. So the story could be Stephen King, short story, cryptid, which is one of the Night Dweller favorites, paranormal, those things that go bump in the night. True crime. You could hear another true crime tomorrow. Appalachian horror. Urban legend. Aliens. possession. So, when I spin, whichever one that it lands on, I tell. And the stories have already been prepared way in advance, just in case one of them are chosen. For those of you who are just coming in, my name is Bryn Morgan. I am a horror author. I am also the host of Twisted Tales Live. Twisted Tales Live is where I tell every scary story you can imagine. You are in the night realm. I am the night queen. And you are my night dwellers. Since we had our intermission and chance to get a snack, now we have to get back into story time. For those of you who just came in at the beginning, you know how to do it. For those of you who are new, who just stepped in just a few moments ago, watch and learn. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Is that candle still lit to chase away the shadows? Pull your curtains nice and tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to crawl up your spine. And let's begin. Viewers' discretion is advised on the next part of the story. Tonight, I am telling the true crime story of Denise Amber Lee, one of the most sad true crime stories that I believe I've ever heard, but also one that is deeply infuriating and really gets under my skin. And you will find out why here in just a few minutes. A beautiful wife and mother ripped cruelly away from this world by a man so sadistic, so twisted, that it makes my skin crawl. Chapter 6. My desperate call for salvation. Question. If you had one moment to save yourself, would you be brave enough to take it? First person, Denise Amber Lee. I remember looking at my watch. It was 6:14 p.m. King was driving down a road, driving me toward what I knew was going to end up being my final destination. I saw my chance. He was talking so loudly. Music was blaring. My cell phone was in my purse. And he was distracted by whatever it was he was hearing. He was hitting his head so hard. He was distracted. If I was going to do it, it was now. It had to be now. The sun was starting to go down. I could see the tail lights, the red tail lights in front of us, and for some reason that scared me more than anything. Please, God, let this work. Let someone answer me. Let me find a way back to my babies. Noah will be waking up. He's already woken up, oh God. He knows Mommy isn't there. Adam needs me. Please don't let them grow up without me. I unzipped my purse, looking at him the whole time. And with trembling fingers, I dialed 911. The dispatcher answered immediately. 911, what's your emergency? I hesitated. I had to pretend that I was talking to my abductor while actually trying to give the operator crucial information. But how can I do it? And then it came to me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I want to go, I said, trying to sound like I was pleading with my captor. Ma'am, I can't understand you. What did you say? I'm sorry. I just want to see my family. I just want to see my family again, please. Ma'am, I'm sorry. I can't understand you. I'm going to have to disconnect the call. Are you having a problem? I just want to see my family again. Please. Oh, please, I just want to see my family again. Let me go. Hello? Hello? Who is this? Can you tell me your name? Are you in trouble? I had to be careful. So careful. If he realized what I was doing. My name is Denise, I managed to say. I'm married to a beautiful husband named Nate, and I just want to see my boys again. I just want to see my husband and my boys again. Please, God, protect me, I whispered, hoping the dispatcher would understand the urgency. Then I heard his voice. Give me the phone! I kept it away from him for a couple more minutes. The call lasted several more agonizing minutes. I tried to give them everything I could. My name is Denise Amber Lee. I've been kidnapped. I'm in a man's car. I don't know exactly where I am, but I think that I'm in town. I have children waiting for me at home, and my husband, Nathan Lee. My children, Adam Lee, Noah Lee. My name is Denise The phone was ripped out of my hands, and the connection was lost. But I had done it, and I had fought back. I had given the police crucial information that would help them catch this monster. Even in my darkest moment, I had been brave. I had been smart. I had tried to save myself and ensure that this man would never hurt another family. I lay back down helplessly in the back seat. I am Denise Amber Lee. I am Noah and Adam's mommy. I am Nathan's wife. I am Rick and Sue's daughter. I am 21 years old. I am not just a victim. I am a fighter who refuses to quietly go into the darkness. The 911 call will become my voice from beyond the grave. The evidence that would help to convict my captor, Michael King, and ensure he faced justice for what he was about to do to me. Chapter 7, the final battlefield. Question: what gives you courage in your darkest hour? After my desperate 911 call, King drove me to a remote construction site in Charlotte County. I wanted to cry. I was terrified and shaking. My last bit of hope had been banging on the car window when we were sitting in traffic about to head out of town into the country. I screamed. I hit my head against the window. I banged my hands against the window, anything. And a woman saw me. And then there were no more lights in front of us. It was just that green Camaro with the black bra on a country road. It was isolated, surrounded by thick woods, far from any hope of rescue. I knew no one was going to find me. This was where King had always planned to bring me, a place where screams could go unheard. I thought, Nate has the babies now. He's holding them now. He knows something has happened to me. He knows it's something bad. The thought of my children growing up without their mother gave me strength. Even in this moment of absolute terror, because I knew my husband, Nate, would take care of them. This monster could take my life, but he could never take away the love I poured into my sons for every day of their young lives. He parked the car and got out. He opened the back door and started pulling me out by my legs. Please, I have 2 little boys. They need their mommy. My baby's only 6 months old. My older boy's just 2. Please don't take their mother away from them. Please, if there's anything good in you. But there was nothing good there. I could see in his empty, soulless eyes that there was no humanity left to appeal to. He had crossed the line, and there was nothing of the person he might have once been remaining in him. As he was dragging me across the grass and onto the concrete, I thought, Nathan, my darling husband, my soulmate, take care of our boys. Tell them every day how much Mommy loved them. Show the videos of me singing to them. Tell them about how I used to dance with Noah in the kitchen and how I would whisper to Adam that he was my perfect little angel. Noah, my sweet Noah, as he was violating me, I thought, as I looked up at the sky, my brave little boy, help Daddy take care of your baby brother. You're such a good big brother. Adam, my sweet baby, I'm so sorry that I won't be there to watch you take your first steps or to say your first words. I will visit you. I will see you every now and then. I fought Michael King until the very end. Even when hope was gone, I still struggled against him and fought, because that's what mothers do. We fight for love, for our children, for a right to go home. As I lay there, bruised and battered, I wasn't thinking about the pain or the fear. I was thinking about love. Love for my babies who were safe at home. Love for my husband who would have to find the strength to raise them without me. Love for my parents who had given me such a beautiful life. Daddy, I didn't open the door. At approximately 6:30 p.m. on January the 17th, 2008, my earthly journey ended. A single bullet in my head. And then that monster buried me in a shallow grave. But my love is eternal. I am Denise Amber Lee. And though my body is at rest, my spirit lives on. My courage in that 911 call would help convict my unaliver. My love continues to watch over my children. My story would change laws and save lives. Death could not silence me. Love made me eternal. Chapter 8. The Angel Who Tried to Save Me. Question. What happens when good people try to help, but the system fails so terribly? I see it all. I know it all. From beyond the veil, I want to tell you about an angel named Jane Kowalski. She was a computer consultant from Tampa who was driving down US Route 41 that evening, just going about her normal life, when she became witness to my final moment of terror. First person, Jane. I was hungry. I remember that. And I was looking for a place to eat before I turned in and stayed at the hotel for the night. I was listening to my music, but as we were nearing town, I don't know why, but I just always have this tendency to turn my music down. I don't know, maybe I don't want to be a nuisance to other drivers around me. We came to a red light. And in the opposite lane on the left-hand side, I thought I heard a child screaming. And it was loud. And it didn't sound like a child that was just screaming for a bottle or that it was uncomfortable in some way. It was screaming. And then I heard pounding. And I turned and looked and I saw a hand on the back window in this car. And it was just pounding the window time and time and time again. And then I noticed it wasn't a child. It wasn't a child at all. It was a young woman. And it looked like this woman was fighting for her life in the back seat of that green Camaro. The light turned green. We went a few feet and then another stoplight. And I could still hear this woman screaming in the car. I remember telling investigators later that it was the most terrifying screaming that I had ever heard. I never heard anything like it. I cannot get the picture of the hand banging desperately on the back passenger door. That hand trying to get someone's attention, trying to get help. I made eye contact with him. I made eye contact with Michael King, the driver, and that's when another hand came up and started banging on the passenger window. I knew something was terribly wrong, and my instincts told me that this was an emergency. And I did exactly what we're all taught to do. I called 911. Jane called 911 and spoke with a Charlotte County operator for 9 minutes. She kept the Camaro. Listen to how brave this woman was. She kept the Camaro in sight in her rearview mirror, following him, trying to save Denise Amber Lee's life. She gave the operator detailed descriptions. I'm going to play back a small part of it through my voice, and I want you to hear it. 911, what's your emergency? Yes, ma'am. I believe that I am witnessing a kidnapping. Okay, ma'am, where exactly are you? I'm on Toledo Blade Boulevard. Okay, and what can you tell us? Well, I was at a stoplight. There's a green Camaro. I thought it was blue, but now that I look at it, it's green. It's got a black plastic thing over the front of it. I thought I heard screaming. I turned and looked, and there is a woman in the back seat. She is desperately trying to get my attention. And ma'am, you said that you're on Toledo Blade Boulevard? Yes, ma'am. Not only did Jane do that, but she gave the cross streets. And she followed the Camaro until it turned off of Toledo Blade Boulevard. She told dispatchers the exact location of where they were. She was this close to saving Denise Amber Lee. So close to getting her back to her sons, to Noah and Adam. But here's what breaks my heart. Because Jane was right at the county line. Her 911 call went to a cell tower in a neighboring Charlotte County, where dispatchers were completely unaware and unfamiliar with the urgent search that was happening just a few miles away in Sarasota County. First person, Jane. The operator told me that someone was going to follow up and that they were going to go after him. But dispatchers never told the deputies who were in the vicinity. One of these dispatchers thought she needed to wait for the patch to be completed before she could air the call. Then a shift change took place. While this woman was being murdered, a shift change was taking place, and the new dispatchers who came in were never informed of the call. The information on Jane's call was put in a computer file, but deputies were never told to respond to it. When I heard this part, I couldn't believe it. One deputy said that he was likely sitting at an intersection when King drove through it with Denise Amber Lee in his car. Jane found her. She had given them everything that they needed to save this young woman's life. But the system failed so badly. First person, Jane. I drove to the hotel, I had a cheeseburger, and I was content because I was sure that this woman had been rescued, that she had been saved. And then the next day, I saw that guy. I saw his photo on the news. I made eye contact with the monster. I immediately recognized him as the man that was in the green Camaro. And they were asking for anyone who had been a witness or anything like that. And I'm wondering why. I was on the phone with y'all yesterday, and then I called back and I identified myself for the second time as one of the 911 callers regarding the kidnapping and asked if they needed any more information. And do you want to know what the authorities said to me? We have no record of you. I asked to speak to the chief of police, and that's when I learned the devastating truth. My call had never been passed along to the officers. 4 officers in the vicinity that could have been there in a matter of minutes and rescued Denise Amber Lee. Jane Kowalski was an everyday hero who tried to save a stranger's life. She followed her instincts. She called for help and did everything right. But the system that was supposed to protect Denise Amber Lee failed her. Chapter 9. How the system failed her. Question: how many lives could be saved if those meant to protect us did their jobs right? Believe me, I know. I'm speaking from personal experience. I have faced loss because of a flawed justice system. First person, Denise Amber Lee. From my place in eternity, I watched as the truth about that day came to light. And I'm so angry. The failures that cost me my life. The failures that took Noah and Adam away from me. The system breakdowns that turned my desperate fight for survival into a preventable tragedy. In total, 5 911 calls were made about me on January the 17th, 2008, between 3:29 p.m. and 6:30 p.m. 5 chances to save my life. 5 opportunities for the system to work as it was designed. My own 911 call at 6:14 p.m. gave them crucial information. My name, my location details, the fact that I had children at home. The call was traced. It was traced. Harold Muslow's daughter, Sabrina, the girl that was standing on the porch and saw me in the back seat, she called 911 at 6:23 p.m. after her father said something's odd. Michael's got that girl in the back seat. We probably should call the cops. And Jane Kowalowski's call at 6:30 p.m., the most detailed, the most actionable, the one that should have saved my life. She gave the sheriff's department an exact location of the crime happening right before her eyes. She stayed on the phone for more than 9 minutes with them, identifying cross streets as she continued driving. This brave woman even followed Michael King with me in the back seat. She risked her own life, despite the fact that as many as 4 patrol cars were within a mile of the car in which I was fighting for my life. Due to inefficiencies in the call center, none of them were dispatched. The Charlotte County Dispatch Center failed catastrophically. 2 dispatchers who failed to dispatch officers to the area blamed a shift change and a chaotic environment for the mishandling of Jane's call. Both were later suspended without pay, but that's not enough. And Charlotte County Sheriff John Davenport defended not firing the 2 dispatchers, calling the incident a missed opportunity. A missed opportunity. As I was laying there being violated, a bullet put through my head. My life taken away from my sons and my husband. A missed opportunity. That's what my life was reduced to. A 21-year-old wife and mother, daughter, friend. A missed opportunity. It was later discovered that a deputy was stationed at the exact road that Michael King turned onto when Jane Kowalowski was on the phone with 911. Had the call been reported, my life would have most likely been saved. On my last night of life, I watched my father he had been in law enforcement for 25 years. Do you know how devastating that it was for him and my mom? It was especially difficult for my father, Rick, to stomach that the same police department he worked for was to blame for such a grossly mishandled call. My daddy had dedicated 25 years of his life to law enforcement, and the very system he served failed to save his daughter. And my mate, my sweet soulmate, he sobbed, sitting on the couch holding my boys. When he found out of all the gross negligence that had occurred within Charlotte County 911, he sued. He received a $1.25 million settlement in 2012. But money couldn't bring me back. Money couldn't give Noah and Adam their mother back. Money couldn't heal the wound in our family's heart. My case exposed something horrifying. I wasn't the only one. That there were several issues countrywide in the 911 system. I wasn't the first person to die because of dispatch failures. And without changes, I wouldn't be the last. But my death would not be in vain. The outrage over how I was failed would spark changes that would save countless other lives. My voice would become a catalyst for reform that reaches across the entire nation. Every time a dispatcher handles a call with precision and compassion now, they honor my memory. Every life saved by improved 911 practices carries forward my legacy. The system failed me, but it will not fail others. Not if I can help it. From beyond the grave. Chapter 10, Watching Justice from Beyond. Question: can love transcend death itself? From the realm where I now dwell, I watched as my earthly story continued to unfold. At 3:30 p.m. that day, Nathan came home expecting to find me and his boys safe and sound. Instead, he found the door smashed in. Our two precious boys alone. I watched Noah. For a couple days, he crawled up into Adam's crib, just looking, wondering where Mama was. At 7 o'clock, I watched my husband's growing panic as he called my name. I wanted to reach out and say, I'm there, I'm here, but I couldn't. I was so happy that Adam and Noah were safe, but they were confused where Mama had gone. I felt his terror. He knew something terrible had happened to me. I hovered as the helicopters searched fields and search teams were combing the areas. The 911 call I had made from King's car became the cornerstone of the case against him. Every word I had whispered in desperation became crucial evidence. Michael King, a 36-year-old unemployed plumber who lived not far from us. So many people tried to help me. On January the 19th, 2008, 2 days after I was taken, my body was found in that remote construction site with a bullet through the head. And the medical examiner would later testify that I had fought till the very end. I know I did. I fought with everything I had. Michael King was arrested almost immediately. The evidence against him was overwhelming. My 911 call, DNA evidence from my clothing found near my body, my hair, and most of all, my beloved ring, the $40 ring that Nate had bought me as a promise that I was going to be his wife and he was going to be my husband. Witness his testimony and my palm print on his car window where I had tried to escape. On September the 4th, 2009, after deliberating for just 2 hours, the jury found Michael King guilty of first-degree murder, kidnapping, and sexual battery. They unanimously recommended the death penalty. On December the 4th, 2009, he was formally sentenced to be unalived. Justice was served. But more importantly, my courage in making that 911 call had ensured that King would never have the chance to take another mother from her children. Even in death, I protected other families. I'm so proud of my husband. Nathan channeled his grief into action, establishing the Denise Amber Lee Foundation to ensure that system failures that contributed to my death would never happen again. He became one of the most sought after speakers in the country on 911 reform. And I continue to watch over my boys as they grow. Noah is now a teenager, strong and brave like his daddy. Adam has grown into a thoughtful young man with a gentle heart. He reminds me of me. They both carry pieces of me in them, and that is the most comforting thing I can think about. The Denise Amber Lee Act was passed unanimously by the Florida legislature on April the 24th, 2008. This law provides enhanced training for 911 operators and improved communication between law enforcement agencies. Denise Amber Lee, her name became attached to legislation that helps emergency responders save lives. They are trained differently now. They are required to handle calls the right way. Her case is now studied in criminal justice programs across the country. The mistakes made during the 911 call became lessons that train future dispatchers and police officers. Her voice, preserved forever in that terrifying phone call, teaches them what to listen for and how to respond effectively. To every woman who has heard this story tonight, I am warning you. Trust your instincts. Same for men. If something feels wrong, it probably is. Don't worry about being rude or hurting someone's feelings. Your safety and your children's safety are worth more than politeness. Be weird, be rude, and stay alive. Always be on guard. Monsters are real, night dwellers. Men, women, boy, girl. They are real. They drive through suburban neighborhoods in broad daylight. Don't think that you are safe, because you are not. They knock on doors with convincing stories. They hunt for opportunities to destroy innocent lives. But you have power too. You have instincts honed by evolution to protect you and your children. You have a voice that can call for help. You have strength you may not even know you possess until you need it most. Tonight, we close this sacred chapter in the night realm. My faithful night dwellers, you have walked alongside Denise Amber Lee in her final hours. You have heard her voice from beyond the grave and witnessed the eternal power of a mother's love. Tonight, Denise has spoken through me to touch your souls with her story of love, loss, and unbreakable courage. You have experienced her joy as a young mother, her terror in the face of evil, and her fierce determination to protect her children, even unto death. Let her story serve as both tribute and warning. Light a candle for Denise Amber Lee. Post it in the comments if you would. These cases need to be handled with respect. I am not going to show you a picture of the monster. He deserves no praise. He deserves no acknowledgement. But light a candle for her. I will not be doing the normal ending that I normally do out of respect for these victims on True Crime Night. Evil walks amongst us in the most ordinary faces, hunting for opportunities to destroy innocent lives. But love, fierce, protective, maternal love, burns brighter than any darkness. As you return to your own lives tonight, carry Denise's voice with you. Trust your instincts as she wished she had trusted hers completely. She did not open the door. Protect your families. Never hesitate to call for help when something feels wrong. Her legacy lives in every life saved by the changes her courage created. Her 911 call still echoes through training centers, teaching dispatchers how to save lives. Her foundation continues to protect families across the nation. Her story warns mothers everywhere to trust their maternal instincts, and not just mothers, women. Trust your instincts. Death could not silence Denise Amber Lee. It only made her voice eternal. If I can leave you with anything tonight, I will say it again, and I will say it as many times as I have to. Be weird, be rude, stay alive. Check everything. Be wary. Trust no one. I do hope that you have a wonderful, peaceful night. Be diligent.